This segment of Coast Life is sponsored by Beebe Healthcare.
Well, Coast Life, we've got an upcoming important day, National Healthcare Decision Day. I know, we're going to break that down for you a little bit, what it is, why it's important. And to help us do that, we've got Reverend Paula Waite joining us, chaplain with Beebe Healthcare. Tell us a little bit, I guess let's kind of connect some dots for you right now. Yep. As a chaplain, talk to us a little bit about your role with Beebe and what you do and kind of why it's important.
Excellent. We are staff chaplains. We have 3 board certified staff chaplains that are at the hospital. We offer spiritual and emotional support to patients and families. We report to traumas, we deal with things that are unexpected.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we're also there many times at the end of life.
Yeah.
And we're dealing with grief and tragedy and having to really assist people to understand and navigate the healthcare system.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure for a lot of people, you know, you really are there in their worst moments, in their worst times in their life, or some of the hardest moments in someone's life. And I think to have, you know, some spiritual guidance probably grounds a lot of people in those really difficult times.
Indeed. Well, and the one thing is that we're interfaith ministers. We all come from different faith backgrounds. And when we meet people, we're meeting them where they are.
Yeah.
We're not bringing an agenda in. We're not trying to change them over or make them something that they're not.
I love that.
It's meeting them where they are.
Yeah, it's just, it's filling a need when they need you most. So let's kind of maybe switch gears a little bit to National Healthcare Decision Day. What is that? How long has it been around and why is that important?
In the 1960s, people really started realizing that they wanted to have their own voice in their healthcare decisions. Back then, it was the doctor told you what to do and you did it. That movement moved through into the 70s when the bioethics committees came in and said, no, we really need to have something. And in 1991, Delaware accepted or acknowledged the first living will, which was the effort to get that to say, we want to do advanced care planning, we want people to have that answer.
I love that.
Yeah. And so in 2006, a healthcare attorney decided that we really needed to push this. He saw what we do every day in the hospital. Families being challenged at end of life because they never talked to their loved one as far as what their wishes were. And he created National Healthcare Decisions Day in 2006. The date is actually April 16th.
There you go.
Now you might want to know why April 16th.
Sure.
Well, he picked that date because what is April 15th? Tax day?
Tax day.
There we go. And with that, there is a quote by Benjamin Franklin that is, only thing sure in life is death and taxes. So that is why he selected April 16th. But advanced care planning and that day is really a process. It is about communication, conversations. It's not just about the form. It's about empowering people to say, this is what my beliefs are, this is what my values are, and speaking them and having that conversation with loved ones. Yeah. Because mainly, we don't want to get to the end of life and have additional suffering or a non-beneficial treatment if that's not what you want. Yeah. So it's vocalizing with those decisions. And now, Beebe Healthcare, we have, for the last 3 years, offered education about National Decisions Day and how to do advanced care planning. This year, we are offering 2 sessions. One is in Lewis at Lewis Library on April 16th at 9 o'clock. I'll be doing a presentation. We will have our palliative care team there to help people fill them out. We will also be offering this in Millville at the Millville Volunteer Firehouse on the 17th at 9 a.m. also, and we will be there until noon. And importantly, both locations will have the American Sign Language available and be there to help people that need that assistance.
That's fantastic. I mean, you really have the whole community covered. So who would you encourage to come out and attend these educational events to stay informed? Is it sort of the general public? Is it people that are maybe knowing that there's a loved one in their life that may be approaching that sort of end of life care?
Anyone over the age of 18 should have an advance directive, because a sudden illness or an accident can happen at any time.
That's true.
So we encourage people of all ages to come. We're happy to walk through it. We can explain it. And it works together with their family members. So many times we will have families come to experience this and to understand and be able to help them through it.
I love that. So for folks who are interested in attending these events, is this something that they need to register for ahead of time? Do they need to, just show up at the door? How does this work?
If they would go to the Beebe website, to the calendar of events, and there's a registration QR code right there that they can get in there.
Fantastic.
But if they show up, I'm going to welcome them anyway.
Ah, that's amazing. Paula, you're the best. This was so great to chat with you, and I feel like I've really learned a lot that I didn't even know was necessarily something that we had in Delaware. So thank you so much for all that you do with Beebe and for helping educate the community.
Wonderful, thank you.
Of course. So we'll give you a minute to check that out. If that's an event that you're interested in checking out, you'll want to go to Beebe's website so that you can register and so that you can show up in Millville or Lewis. But coming up on Coast Life, we're also going to be chatting about why it's important to get middle school age children involved in education when it comes to protecting our wetlands. That's on the way. Well, if you're a bird lover or a nature lover, there's no shortage of wetlands that are beautiful across coastal Delmarva that you can enjoy. But even if you're more of an indoor kid as opposed to an outdoor kid, there's a reason you should care about preserving them. And we want to start instilling that mindset in them young. We've got Mary Barneby joining us on the Coast Life couch today, author of Exploring Wetlands, Nature's Quiet Wonders. You have written a book, and it's geared towards a certain age group to start encouraging them to care about wetlands. Why?
Why? Well, it's written for kids in the age group of 10 to 13, and it's really because we have such a big issue going on right now with destruction of wetlands. They are disappearing all over the world, not just here in Delaware, but all over the world, and we need them. They're so important in terms of protecting us from flooding. They're home to so many amazing creatures of wildlife, so we really want young people to start becoming champions for these wetlands because they're being destroyed day by day, some naturally through climate and things that happen, but also through destruction by humans and people that aren't being careful about protecting them.
So you've done so with this book,
and two books.
And
here.
two books, yeah, we do have a baby edition.
My passions, my babies.
Yes, and
my late life babies.
Yes. So when kids in that age group or adults alike flip through this book, what are they going to kind of see inside? They've got some activities to do.
Yes,
how is this? It's very interactive.
It's very interactive, and what I wanted to do was to really take kids from what is a wetland? Where are wetlands? They're all over the world. And then what? Who's in those wetlands? Like, it's you drive by sometimes, you don't even think about the amazing species of birds and fish and insects and creepy crawlers and all those things that are living there and depending on it for their survival. And then I really want kids to understand why they're at risk. And then what can they do about it?
What was the research like to put this together so that you had all the right information?
Well, the good news is there's a lot of information out there. In fact, in the book, there's a whole appendix of things that if people want more information. So, we're very fortunate now with the internet. There's so much that you can learn. I remember when I was a kid, I had to have these big encyclopedias,
card catalogs,
go to the Dewey
microfiche,
Decimal System. And now you just kind of go and you just like Google things.
You got vocab words. This is great.
And I think if you're a teacher too, it's a great little tool if you want to teach the kids in your class about this. And you could sort of break one chapter out at a time, and really. But if you're a kid that just likes to sketch, my best friend from high school is the illustrator.
I was going to say the illustrations are beautiful too, and there's a connection there.
My best friend from high school, and so that was funny when I got back with her and I said, "Come on, Maureen, be my illustrator," and she did the drawings.
They're incredibly nice. I love these.
Yeah, so it was a labor of love,
for sure.
And I'm just really pleased that it's done, and I'm thinking about doing one on bird migration because there's such a very interesting thing going on in the world. So many species of birds are disappearing, and the wetlands are like their little hotels on the road.
We talk about it a lot on the news side of things, what they're doing to try to encourage some of those that wetland protection, but also for the areas for birds to land and be safe and
where were they going to go? If their wetland disappears, and they need the fish to eat, and the fish need a place to go lay their eggs, and so there's so much going on in there that
it's all interconnected.
They're quite wonderful.
Yes. Well, this is clearly a labor of love with a lot of information and a lot of ways to get your kids inspired. If parents are hearing this and they've got a little marine biologist in the making, or they would like to, maybe have their kids learn something new, or a teacher is interested in getting this in their classroom, where can they get a hold of your book?
They can buy it online in any of the big outlets for
Perfect
online book reading. Yeah.
So it's pretty accessible then. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And we have 2 titles, right? We've got the My
And that's
Blue
for little
Heron.
kids.
This
That's
is for
cute.
a younger set if you want
I
to get
love
them kind of having some fun.
I have a passion for herons too.
Oh,
Since
because
I
they're
moved
beautiful.
to Delaware, they're just such amazing creatures.
So start your younger kids on this one, and then they can graduate to this one.
Exactly.
Mary Barneby, thank you so much for coming in
Thank you
today
both.
and sharing your passion with us, and hopefully with many generations to come.
Yes.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Coast Life headed your way.
You're watching Coast Life with Leah Rizzo and Charlie Sokaitis.
You ever go out to dinner or maybe out to the bar or somewhere with your friends, you got your phone, you're getting on your phone, maybe you shouldn't be getting on your phone because it's distracting. Sounds like there's a solution to this
There's
problem.
an invention for you. Heineken has invented this prototype called the Flipper. And it's basically a phone case that has like a little robotic arm tucked into it. And it uses AI to listen for the word cheers. Because, when you're out with friends and you yell, cheers. And when it hears that little robotic arm will flip its way out of the case and flip your phone over to be face down so that you're not distracted by the binging and bonging and notifications that are all over your phone these days. What are your thoughts?
Binging and bonging and notifications. I have a lot of thoughts here. This sounds horrific and dystopian
Right.
in a number of things. Number one, why is the phone listening? Why is that happening? The phone shouldn't be listening to you. This
I guess
is why
your phone
we end
case is listening to you.
even worse. I don't know. Like the skin of my phone is listening to me. I don't love that.
hate that.
Number two, if your phone is near the edge of the table when this thing decides to do
True.
this, is it going to flip the phone off the table and maybe break your phone or crack
Very
the
well
screen
could.
or whatever? And number three, can we have just like one iota of self-control and just flip the phone yourself? Like,
I'll be honest, I keep my phone in my purse when I'm out to dinner for the most part so that I'm not even tempted to look at it. And I get it because it is difficult. Once the phone is on the table, it's tempting to check it, or especially when like maybe other people start having a conversation and you're kind of fizzling out of that conversation because you're like, I don't know anything about light switches, and that's what they're talking about.
a lot of light switch conversations over here.
Well, look, when you date people that they are handy and their friends are handy and they are comparing notes about light switches and which ones you should use, you're like, I am lost here.
You're like, I'm just going to back.
Exactly. And that's when it's tempting to flip the phone over. And because you're like, I don't really have much to say. So I do get it. And then it can be kind of hard to circle your way back in. But I also think it's important to have that self-control, to be able to put your phone in a pocket, in your purse, even just away somewhere at the table. I even like groups of friends that sometimes put all their phones in the pile on the table, and like the first one to grab it picks up the tab, or like the first one to grab it pays half the bill, something like that.
I just have this image in my mind. It's like, it's listening for cheers and also everything else that you might be talking about so we can market to you directly and sell all your information. Like,
Suddenly on your way
those are the
home.
things I worry about.
You've got a list of ads for everything that you talked about that night, and you're like, weird. How did that happen?
How did they know I wanted polka dot socks?
For now, though, the Flipper is merely a prototype. So for the rest of us that don't have one, we're just going to have to flip our phones over the old-fashioned way.
Maybe we can give the Flipper to the dire wolves and see what happens with that.
A lot of inventing going on Coast Life today and in the world. But we do have the remainder of our show coming up. We got some good stuff to get to. Again, maybe if your driveway needs a little bit of an upgrade and you haven't considered concrete, we're going to tell you why you should, because it's not only pretty, it's practical.
Plus, we'll be talking a little coastal comfort, getting underneath the house, checking out everything going on down there, making sure it's all okay as we head into the new part of the year.
And we've got a very special delivery, some news for a very lucky gentleman who's very well deserving of a new bathroom. That's from our friends at Peninsula Bath. All that fun is coming up on Coast Life.
This segment of Coast Life is sponsored by Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning.
The weather's been a little up and down recently, but we are heading towards nicer times. And with that in mind, we've got Lacey Coleman in here with Coastal Comforts. And Lacey, today We're talking about air conditioning. What is the right choice for different people, for different areas, for different things? Where do you want to start?
Absolutely. So there's a lot of options. There's a lot of different brands on the market, and how do you choose? So one thing that we have to take into consideration when we are meeting with homeowners is the space that they want to condition. So whether you already have an existing system that you're maybe not happy with, or if you're adding on to a space, or you might just not have anything. So there are your regular ducted conventional systems, which you're going to see in 90+%
most of the homes.
Yes,
yeah.
Most. And then we have ductless systems, which have been around for a while, but consumers are becoming more interested in them, and it's the fastest growing segment of our market. So a ductless system is, of course, just as the name, it does not require ductwork. So we have different options. So if you have a home that doesn't have a crawl space, typically these are older homes, farmhouse style, that don't have the crawl space, or maybe it doesn't have a garage or an attic space that we would be able to put the ductwork. Ductless options are great for those. They're really versatile.
We do have plenty of that out here along the coast.
Of course, all throughout the Eastern Shore. Sussex County has a lot of farmland, especially in western Sussex. So there's a lot of options for those types. So we have your high wall that you see a lot. It's going to be mounted about 6 to 8 inches from your ceiling. There's also floor consoles and there's ceiling cassettes. So we can use a versatile options to figure out what's the best option for you. Also, a lot in Sussex County with a lot of the new builds that we see. So a lot of homeowners have one AC system for 2 or 3 floors. And what happens is wherever the thermostat is, so let's say your thermostat's on the first floor and your bedroom's on the second floor, and heat rises. So in the summertime, you're going to find that your bedrooms are
going to be a little warm.
And I know this is resonating with a lot of people out there because we get a lot of calls. Sometimes in these builds, the ductwork is not accessible. So what we're looking at is proposing, to kind of disconnect the second floor from the main house system, and then we can add in ductless systems to be able to really better heat and cool, more specifically those areas that we're seeing homeowners not be able to use the thermostat because it's mostly focused on the
judging it based on the first floor.
Yes, exactly.
You're not on the first floor when you're trying to go to bed all the time.
Yes.
You might be upstairs and you might be sweating a little
Right.
bit.
So the temperature swing might be greater than, a couple degrees is pretty normal, 1 to 2 degrees, but in that scenario, you may be seeing 6, 8, 10 degrees differential.
You get over 2 or 3 and it's a big difference. You get to 10,
yes.
You're hot.
Yeah, sometimes we've seen, it's set on, 70 downstairs, but it's, 78 upstairs just because all that heat load is then transferring upstairs. So, it's doing its best, but it's just not satisfying. So comfort level is really important, which brings me to kind of our next point is not all systems have the same features, and it really depends on what comfort you want out of it. So if you're really looking for, dehumidification and things like that, the inverter technology is really what you want to look at. It is on the higher end, it's a nicer system, but what happens is the inverter technology has the ability to ramp up the capacity that it's using. So it could be running at 30% capacity, 37, 58, 89. It has the ability to do that based on what the home needs. So it will operate at a lower capacity for longer. So the system is running longer at a lower speed to be able to maintain the temperature.
Well, with all these different variables, the one thing I know is you probably want to consult the experts over at Coastal Comfort. So make sure you do that. Tell them how they can get a hold of you.
Sure, coastalcomfort.com. There's a lot of information there. You can contact us through the submission form. Give us a call or text at 410-742-1435. And of course, there's always social media, Instagram, Facebook. You can find us on there as well.
They are everywhere. Thank you so much for coming in today. We appreciate it. We're going to take a break. Don't go anywhere, though. There's a lot more Coast Life coming your way.
This segment of Coast Life is sponsored by Liberty Concrete.
You're watching Coast Life, and we know that the weather has started to get a little bit nicer. It is officially spring, and it's feeling like spring. So you're going to want to get outside, and you're going to want to start some of those home reno projects. And maybe one that you haven't thought about is your driveway, your walkway, ways to spruce that up, whether it's from a practical standpoint or a cosmetic standpoint. Liberty Concrete has you covered. I'm hanging out with Robert Hammond, the superintendent with Liberty Concrete. And Robert, you guys have done some beautiful work here at this home, but you guys do beautiful work all the time. Talk to us a little bit about the process of a concrete walkway. Why should somebody choose concrete as opposed to a more traditional driveway?
Well, concrete's maintenance free. You don't have to worry about any of the year round, sealing in the driveway per se, or, just the basic maintenance. You're not going to have the cracks. Concrete is not where it's going to crack or if it's going to crack. It's going to crack. It's just being strategic in your relief cuts and relief joints and that type stuff. So it's a maintenance-free, year-round thing that you never have to worry about.
I love the sound of that. And I know a lot of people that are probably struggling with some of that maintenance, especially after the winter that we had. I mean, it was harsh. We saw a lot of snow. People were throwing a lot of salt down.
Yeah, so the problem with salt is, there's an alkali reaction that happens from salt and concrete. So you don't use salt on concrete. It's something that everybody does. You throw it on your driveway, and then next year or whatever, you start to see like pock marks in it. That's that reaction that's just not supposed to happen. So you're supposed to use sand, put sand down, and then you can just blow it away after the snow is gone. So that's the biggest problem we've seen this year is we just had a big snow season. And with the snow season, we've had a lot of calls for that alkali reaction problem,
Yeah, and I mean, I have to say, I think the first words out of my mouth as we were walking up to this home and seeing this driveway was, it's beautiful. When you think concrete, you're kind of like, concrete.
Yeah. So this is like Roman slate middle with ash or slate border. The color options are just, if you dream it up, we can pretty much make it happen. And as far as, design, we have a crew that kind of comes out and makes a design with you. Once you like your design, they'll draw it up. And then once you sign off on the drawing, you make it happen. Something like this takes about 2 to 3 weeks. It just depends on the weather, really.
Good to know. Good to know. So I think that is something maybe to keep in mind. So talk to me a little bit about that process then. Somebody sees this and they go, I want that in my home. What does that sort of beginning of the process look like when they reach out to Liberty Concrete?
So first they'll do an estimate with us. Jackie will come out and do an estimate with you. Jackie or one of the other estimators. And then once you get your estimate and you like, what you see, then we'll come out and do, like I said, we'll do that drawing if the drawing needs to be done. If there's no drawing, then usually it's HOA approval. We're just waiting on that. So get the HOA approval, and then we're usually like 3 to 6 weeks out for the work, and then that's that. I mean, we come in, usually, if it's just like a basic sidewalk, like 3 days we're in and out.
Awesome. I know a lot of people are going to love to hear that. I know you guys are also really community oriented. Talk to me a little bit about that and why it's important to be community oriented, especially as a local business.
Yeah, so I mean, we first started because when I came home, I seen that they were just charging more than you should for stuff. And not just that, like, the seniors and the military people, all the first responders, they're there every day for us. So we try to give back when we can. So we do those year-round deals,
Awesome.
And we just try to be community oriented because we came from nothing and we know what it's like.
I love that. And I think everybody deserves to have something beautiful about their home. And you guys really do help the community achieve that. So if folks are interested, they see this walkway, they want it to be part of their own lifestyle and all of the different beautiful types of concrete that you guys lay down. I mean, I never knew you could be so creative with concrete. What should they do? How should they start this process? Should they give me a call? Should they walk in somewhere?
Yeah, reach out to us at 302-236-5810 or 302-236-1528. And you can reach us and we'll usually get you an estimate within 72 hours.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much for having us out here and showing off what you guys can do. But we've got some more of coastal communities and coastal Delmarva to show off with more Coast Life. That's on the way.
This segment of Coast Life is sponsored by Peninsula Bath.
Well, Coast Life, I know we've talked about it a number of times that when it comes to giving back to our community, we have so many generous individuals, and that generosity isn't limited to just individuals here along coastal Delmarva. Our local businesses also love to get involved. That's why we're hanging out with Rodney and Melissa Long with Peninsula Bath. We are back at it. We've done this before. You guys are giving away a bathroom renovation. So tell us a little bit about Delmarva's Neediest Bath, this contest, and why you guys do it.
So we are giving away our Neediest Bathroom contest again to a local vet. He is 87 years old or young, however you want to look at it. He is in desperate need of a bathroom. He is a widow that is taking care of his 71-year-old son who was born without eyes. Because his son doesn't have the mobility or vision to get in and out of the bathroom or tub, so he has a lot of desperate needs to get in and out of the bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, clearly a great candidate to award this bathroom to. Why do you guys do this giveaway? What does it mean to you? But especially when you see the faces of your winners when you go into their home and say, you won!
It feels really good, and it's not because it's just from Melissa and I, it's from all of us at Peninsula Bath, down to our sales guys, our installers, outside sales. I mean, you name it, we all appreciate everything that the community itself does for all of us.
Yes, and I know that the community appreciates what you guys do, whether it's, you know, a bathroom when you are taking care of customers, or you're giving away a bathroom remodel as well, like you do with this contest. So let's go give them the good news.
Surprise!
Yep, knock on the door.
Let's back up. Surprise!
Hello.
Well, my God, what's this?
You are the winner of our neediest bathroom contest.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, my God. Oh, my.
$10,000 for the bathroom.
Oh my gosh. Here, you guys go ahead. I'll hold the door.
Oh, thank you.
Good things happen to good people.
Oh, my God. Oh, honey,
These are the owners of Peninsula Bath.
Can we give you a hug as well?
Yes, you can. You
I
can
heard
also
all
give me
of-
a squeaker.
God, you made this day, I'll tell
We
you.
heard all about you.
Oh, Jesus.
You called in and we heard your story.
Ooh.
You made us all cry
Oh.
on the phone.
Yeah. Well, now you're making me cry, so we're even. God, this is with my blind stepson, and it means the world. He has a hard time getting in and out of the bathtub. So this is going to be beautiful. I just don't have words for it. God bless you people. Oh.
Bathrooms can be dangerous for fall risks. That's why keeping Russell safe is so important to the folks at Peninsula Bath.
What we're going to do for his bathroom giveaway, he has a problem with the vanity fixtures and whatnot. This is a low, older vanity, so we're going to put in a new vanity for him. It's not safe for him in the tub, trying to get in and get out with his situation, so we're going to put a walk-in shower in for him, get everything fixed up for as that goes, put a new toilet, get him all set up so that bring him up to 2025 date. But main thing is we got to make it safer for him. That's the big thing.
For Bob's stepson, Russell, this bathroom remodel is going to make a world of difference when it comes to getting around and mobility.
His bedroom's right next to it, so he comes out at night when he wants to take a shower, and it's just a godsend because he'd be able to get into it and get out of it. Oh, I need to get one too, but it's financials, and we're on Social Security. He's got part of his dad's railroad retirement.
Robert's humility and dedication to Russell are inspiring, but so is his service to his country.
I went in 1955 when I was 17 years old and jumped out of airplanes.
Whoa. Well, thank you for your service.
Robert's gratitude to Peninsula Bath had us all not just a little misty-eyed, but humbled by his words.
Oh my God, thank you. God bless you all. It's just, yeah, here I go again. Hey, thank you so much, all of you.
Thank you.
Well, I know at one point Bob had all of us inside in tears. Such a gentle soul. He and his stepson both just really well deserving when it comes to this bathroom remodel. And don't forget, it's all thanks to our friends at Peninsula Bath. They've got such generous hearts to give back to the community the way they do. And maybe if you're looking at your own bathroom thinking, well, it's time for an upgrade, time for that remodel, perhaps it's time to give Peninsula Bath a call. But we've got some more Coast Life to get to. More fun is on the way when we get back.
Well, we love hanging out with you, Coast Life, all hour long here on the show, but alas, our time is up. It is about that time to turn you over to Coast TV News at 5. That's where Charlie is downstairs getting ready for with Maddie and the crew. It's going to be lots of information coming your way in just a little bit, but we want to remind you that coming up tomorrow, of course, is Thursday, which means we're going to be spilling a little tea, spilling a little drama. This one's juicy. We're talking coworker drama and some coffee, which I feel like I don't know that we've ever talked a lot of coworker drama on our Spill the Tea segment. So definitely looking forward to that and so much more. But for now, get out of here. Enjoy the rest of your day. Like we said, Coast TV News at 5 is up next. Great rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow.